Single mothers are afraid to tell you that in order for them to continue to live their best life, go out and party, club, have a good time, that they have to give their infants, their children, sleeping medication before she does go out. That she have to give them NyQuil to put them to sleep. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they truly don't know who the father is. That they sign any last name so she feels better about the situation. That it could be a number of different guys that she was sleeping with. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that when they have no babysitter, when they have exhausted all their options and burned their bridges with other people, what they'll do is have their 10-year-old watch a 4-year-old or their 12-year-old watch a 7-year-old throughout the day while she's at work. Supermom, let me guess. The single mothers have told you that they had a one-night stand and that's how she conceived. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they chased after bad boys, guys who didn't care about them, guys who already had women in their stable. And they figured that if they had his child, hopefully he would have a change of heart and let go of his side chicks and be with her. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they're suffering from depression. Before they had that child, they're lonely. They wanted unconditional love. They wanted someone to care for them no matter what. So they had a child because they knew that child would do that. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they enjoy keeping the fathers from their children, their flesh and blood. Because truth be told, they don't even care about their own children. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they're looking for a simp. They're looking for a good guy. That if a single mother ever chose you to be with, she would never do the things she did for her child's father. She would never go above and beyond like she did for him, for you. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they're looking for a lifeline. They're looking for someone to clean up their mess. They're looking for someone to take care of her and her children. And he better be grateful to do it. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they knew the character of their baby's father. They knew that he was into gangs, that he was into the street life, but she still wanted to have a child by him. See, single mothers are always perpetual victims. They will never admit their wrongs. They would never tell you that the guy that they chose to lay down with, he had no money. He had no place to stay. He wasn't gainfully employed. He didn't have a job. What single mothers will tell you is that he just up and left. Fathers just don't up and leave their children out of the blue. The reason why single mothers tell you all this is because they want to appear like they can do no wrong. Single mothers have children by men who don't want to be with them, who are unable to take care of themselves, because they know that they will always be looked at as the better person. Single mothers know that if they have a child by a loser, low-life man, she can always blame every man and be the victim. Single mothers know that they can get help from their family, the mother, the father, their grandmother, everybody she can come in contact with, because she has a child. Single mothers know that they get pregnant for government assistance. They get pregnant and have children by low-life loser guys who can't take care of themselves, who haven't changed their underwear in days. They have children by those men because they know they can get rewarded by the system, by your tax dollars. Single mothers know that they can get affordable housing. They're afraid to tell you that they had children because they were lazy and they were unambitious. So they knew they would get $600-700 a month worth of food stamps, free money. Again, your money. Single mothers are afraid to tell you all of this because they know that they would have to look at themselves in the mirror and say, wow, I made a horrible mistake. I've never heard a single mother tell me or admit any of this. When you ask them all this, what they say is, well, I didn't know he was like that. Single mothers say that they hate their baby's father, but at one point in their life, they were so in love and smitten by him. The reason single mothers keep the children away from their fathers, because that man has moved on to another woman and is smiling and is happy. Single mothers are afraid to tell you all of this, but I'm here to tell you that single mothers are jealous of the new girl. A man has moved on and changed his life. He's found someone more feminine, someone kind, someone cooperative, and she decides to make things hard on him and keep his flesh and blood away. Single mothers are afraid to tell you this. They're afraid to tell you that they hunt and they search for men to live with them. Single mothers don't want men to have their own, have a mind of their own. This is why they have men in and out of their homes, because they know those men need a place to stay. Ex-criminals. Single mothers particularly go for certain men because they know those men need them. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they enjoy chaos and dysfunction because when a man is trying to see his children, she's in power. She can dangle the children above his head. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they understand the law. They know the law and the government is on their side. So they can say and do anything with that child and have you, the father, the male, suffer in silence while you fork over your money and child support. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that when the father wants to see the children and it's his time to pick them up, she makes it hard. She hides the kids in the back and tells them to be quiet. Your dad's here, be quiet. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they intentionally brainwash the children, her children, against the father because she wants to alienate and keep the children from him. She wants the children to say, you know what? My dad was a bad guy. Without even meeting him, without barely spending time with him. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they enjoy controlling the time and the days that their children are with the father. Because she will always have a say-so of how the children feel. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that the reason why your father left you or your father was never in your life is because he got tired. It was exhausting. The system was against him. Everyone was against him. So he threw in the towel. And he said, oh, well, I can't deal with this. They don't want to tell you this. So what she tells you is that he was a deadbeat dad, that he never really wanted you, that she's super mom, that she will love you no matter what. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that, yes, she's the mother, but she's not the father. Majority of single mothers are afraid to tell you that they had you and they're going to continue to have children for tax money, for earned income credit. Single mothers don't want to tell you any of this stuff because it paints them as the bad person. And society wants to see single mothers as such great human beings. Even though there's at least a dozen forms of birth control that she could use. Somehow she told you, I got pregnant because of some sort of defect with the birth control. Single mothers are afraid to tell you that they had these children intentionally, that they chose specific men who couldn't either take care of themselves, who had no fight to see their children, who didn't love and want to be with her. Single mothers are afraid to tell you all this because they know that you won't ask them questions like I'm asking in this video, that you will see them as beautiful, angelic, and gorgeous, and wow, she's such a very attractive woman. But deep down, they're not really attractive. They look good on the outside, but their spirit and their inside is rotting.